Class. So after a long time, we are doing a live on YouTube. So welcome to the class. And in this class, I'll be giving you introduction and a brief understanding of general meetings. In this class, you'll get a very good idea of what is general meetings, and also it will get you interested to study the more difficult concepts. So just in case you're new to the channel, we are Ekcel Academy. I am Company Secretary Alok, and let us get into the chapter relating to meetings. So first things first, let's see who is there on the live. Okay, so just say hello on the live. Okay, so we have quite a few people already joining in. Yes. So first things first, what is a meeting? What is a meeting and why should we have a meeting? Correct? So my simple question is, if you want to decide something in your house, you actually discuss, right? You actually discuss, you actually do a meeting. So similarly, in a company, we need to have multiple meetings, right? So who else is there? Okay. So hello Sukanya, hello Annapurni. Then we have Sahasra. So hello, very welcome. So anybody else? Let me know. Manikwel. Yeah, nice to see you, Manikwel. Okay. All right. Yeah, some more people are joining. Suresh, yes, hello Suresh. Okay, so let's directly get into meetings and dive deeper. So first things first, when we look at a company, in a company broadly we have board meeting and general meetings. So before that, you need to understand one very basic concept. In a company, we have two decision making bodies. So company is the only form of organization which has two decision making bodies. When we have a partnership firm, there is just one decision making body. When we have a proprietorship, obviously it's one. Even if you look at any other business entity, there is only one decision making body. But in a company, by design, by the law itself, we have the board of directors and we have the, what else? We have the shareholders or the members, correct? So these are the two decision making bodies. To have the right checks and balance in a company, we have two decision making bodies, correct? Even if you compare it to your house, correct? Let's say your mother and your father. If mother takes all the decisions, will it be good for the house? Mother will say yes, but not necessarily. If the father takes all the decisions in the house, will everything be good? No, not at all. So we have the right balance in your house. Some decisions are taken by mother, some decisions are taken by father, some decisions are taken collectively. Just to give you an example. So similarly, in a company, the company law itself, this class is especially for somebody who's completely new to the subject. The company law itself tells that some decisions can be taken by the board, some decision can be taken by the shareholders. It is bifurcated in the company law itself. This is the first basic thing which you should understand. So if you have any doubts, I can see over here in the phone. Okay. All right. Yeah. So we will be doing many more live. So nice to see you live. We will be seeing you many more in the live session. So this is the first foremost thing. The company has that. So we have meetings in a company, we have board meetings, we have general meetings. So again, under board meetings, you have the board committee meetings, you have the audit committee, the CSR committee, shareholder relationship committee. We have multiple committees in a company. So the board of directors, that is board of directors, meet in the board meetings or committee meetings, and the shareholders meet in the general meetings, which is broadly AGM and EGM. We'll go more detailed into that. So the idea over here is to give you very basic understanding, especially for newcomers, on what are these meetings. For newcomers, this is very, very important. So why do meetings actually exist? Why do you think meetings actually exist? First thing is, when there are multiple people, you need to have accountability. People should take responsibility for their actions, and that is why the first reason is accountability or ownership. And also the leaders should explain. Recently, one video went pretty viral on social media where there was a company annual general meeting and one of the shareholders were asking very difficult questions to the board. Okay, and he made all kind of allegations against the board, and in the end of that video you can see one of the board members will ask, how many share does this shareholder have? It is a video recorded meeting. So somebody, company secretary or somebody says he has one share, one single share. So having one single share, you are owner of the company, you can ask any difficult questions to the company. So that is why you need to understand owners question, that is the shareholders of the company question about their money being invested, and the leaders or the board of directors, they explain. So you are accountable. See, on a day-to-day basis, you are not involved in a company. You invest in a company, day-to-day basis you are not involved there. Annual general meeting is one day where you are involved because you are part of the meeting. So you can ask any question, how the company is being run, why the money is being spent here, and how do you ensure that directors are not taking excessive salary. All these questions you can ask. So to have that accountability. Legitimacy, that is major decisions need shareholder approval. Just because we have this form where the company is run by board on a day-to-day basis and shareholders are the owners of the company, it doesn't mean that board can do whatever they want, right? Board cannot do whatever they want, and that is the main reason why any major decision needs shareholder approval, and that is why we need meetings. See, what we do, we directly go into section 96. First you need to understand the background, why do we need meetings, how will meetings help you? Tell me one thing, actually, how do you think being very good in this chapter will help you in your career as a company secretary? If you do very good in this chapter, obviously you will pass exam. I'm not asking that. In your career, how will it be useful? And that way you will know why you should study this chapter. Just tell me, why do you think you should study this chapter? Yes? So there is a question, is the company law classes updated? Yes, the company law classes are updated. That is why we are doing a small live session now. So if anyone interested to join Ekcel Academy, you can join us. All the classes are updated. We'll also have live classes like this even for the ones who join. YouTube will have few live because YouTube is completely free. Not everything will be on YouTube, but we'll try to do as much possible. But for ones who join, you'll have the recorded, you'll have the live, you'll have the weekly test, you'll have many more things. You can get in touch with us if you want to join. Yeah, so tell me, why do you think you should study this meetings chapter? One is to pass exam, but over and above that, why do you think you need to study this? Just let me know. Yeah, nobody has commented yet. Sir, I got only 50 marks in SBL. Kindly bring video on. So we will bring it, but my question is this. So how will this meetings chapter actually help you? Like, why is this helpful for you? Yeah. Because as a company secretary, general meeting is huge responsibility. It will help in real scenario to take the decision. Okay. So Sahasra, I think your point is correct. Please remember, everything in a company revolves around the annual general meeting. The chartered accountant, the CFO, the finance, the costing, the company secretary, the lawyers, company business, product, everything, annual general meeting. Why? In the annual general meeting, you discuss things relating to the finance, things relating to directors, things relating to auditors, the audit, the P&L, the balance sheet, everything. The shareholders are there. Just imagine a scenario, you're sitting in a meeting. It is the most important decision making body of a company, shareholders. So of course you study this to pass exam, but it is even more important for you to realize that this is what will really make you a great company secretary. So major decisions are shareholder approval. Transparency, decisions recorded and it should be visible. There should be no secret. So in simple, see, there are many reasons why do we do general meetings, but you should understand the background. Before you even go into section 96, you should understand the background of why this is actually required. Okay. So when you study this chapter, I'm giving you an idea. Even in our classes, we do this. When you study this chapter, you should get an idea what is a general meeting, why it exists. So anybody asks you, you should be able to tell why is it. Instead of simply going into the section like why is it even there, having a difference between AGM and EGM. What is AGM? What is EGM? And the basic flow of a meeting. These are the basic things you should know when you study this meetings chapter. So talking about basic flow, I want to tell this to you before we go ahead. So in a meeting, the very first thing is notice. What is a notice? It is an invitation. So if you have a birthday party, a wedding, or any other housewarming function in your family, you invite people. You invite people, right? So that is the notice. You are inviting them and you're telling the right time, the right place, how do you reach the place, all that is the notice. So you're inviting people for the meeting. Once you invite, they will come. There is a attendance you take. Of course, in a birthday party or a wedding, you may not take attendance, but you'll know who's come, who's not come. Oh, I called them, they did not come. You may say such things. So this is how a meeting flows. You send the notice, you invite them, please come, and then on the day of the meeting, this is on the day of the meeting, you will have attendance. That is who has come, who has not come, correct? Why? Because if you want to have a birthday party, let us say you want to have a birthday party, you have 10 friends and only one friend comes. Will you feel like celebrating? You have 10 friends, you call 10 friends, but only one friend comes to your birthday party. You feel, I don't even feel like doing. There you feel like not doing a party. But here the law says that there should be minimum number of people to organize your meeting. That is only quorum. So you call them, you take attendance. When you take attendance, the number of people who come for the meeting should be the minimum number as required by section 96 of the Companies Act, right? So you need to do that. So quorum is, do we have enough number of people for the meeting? If the answer is yes, if you really have enough number of people, then you can conduct the meeting. You can go ahead, you can discuss whatever is part of the agenda, correct? So I will just add here agenda. So once you have the quorum, you'll go one by one. So whether it is approval of accounts, whether it is appointment of auditors, whether it is a merger, amalgamation, or resignation of a director, or appointment of a new director, whatever you want to do, you will have an agenda, and based on the agenda, whoever has come for the meeting, all of them will discuss. Each one have their own opinion, correct? After they discuss, they will put the business to vote. So for example, it is approval of your financial statements. So you have called everyone, you did the attendance, you had a quorum, that is you checked if the minimum number of people have come to have a valid meeting, and then you discussed it. You discussed the financials. After the discussion of financial, can we approve it? Is it final? That is what you need to put the business to vote. Put the business. What is the business? Approval of financial statement. Put it to vote. And once you put it to vote, if you have the majority of people, if enough people agree to it, you are passing the resolution. If enough people agree, you pass the resolution. That means you have approved the financial statements or any other transaction which you wanted to do. So this is what happens. So after all this, then you will write a summary of what happened in the meeting. So you called them, you did attendance, you did the quorum, you checked if enough number of people came, minimum number of people came. This is most important. Then you had the agenda, you discussed, you put the business to vote, you passed the resolution. So meeting is over. After the meeting, you will prepare the minutes of the meeting. That is in simple a summary of whatever happened at the meeting with the decisions which we took at the meeting, correct? See, a resolution is nothing but a decision. Keep it simple. A resolution is nothing but a decision. So what are the decisions we took at the meeting, We need a record of that, correct? You can't remember everything. That is where we will write down all the decisions which we took at the meeting, and not only decisions, whatever else which happened at the meeting, we are going to record it. We are going to record it. Then finally, after that, correct, you will file different forms to the registrar of companies or different regulatory bodies based on the decisions as and when applicable. For everything in the minutes, you need not file a form, but for some things it will be required. Okay, so I hope you are understanding so far. Yes or no, just let me know if you guys are understanding. Okay, general meeting because members on and okay. So Aditya is correct. Well said. Helps in conducting board and AGM meetings and passing the resolution, right? Okay. Yes, so you are understanding. Great. Very good. So I'm trying to keep it very simple. This is an introductory thing. So I just go back over here, right? So why do meetings exist? Then what is the basic flow of the meeting? And broadly speaking, we have two types of meetings when we come to within general meetings. See, first I told you have board of directors, shareholders. Board of directors is board meetings, and we have committee meetings. For shareholders, we have annual general meeting and EGM. So we are talking about the shareholder meeting. AGM, it is the annual, every year once you have to do it. It is a routine thing. And EGM is urgent or special business. Please remember this very carefully. Do you have to do annual general meeting every year? Yes. Do you have to do EGM every year? Not necessary. If there is a requirement, if there is a need, as we see here, EGM is whenever we need a urgent matter to be discussed and we cannot wait till next year AGM. So let's imagine September 30th the AGM is done. Okay, so when is the next AGM? Maybe next September, next year September. But something happened in January which is very important, like the company wants to declare a dividend and we cannot wait till the annual general meeting, or company wants to have a merger with another company. We cannot wait. Oh, we are having AGM in September. Till then we don't take decision. You can't do that. So that is why between two annual general meeting, if there is a need for shareholders to meet, you do a EGM. If there is a decision where board of directors themselves can decide, then you don't need EGM. You can take that decision in the board meeting, correct? But if there is a decision which directors cannot take, or directors don't have enough powers to take, that time you will need a EGM for urgent or special business between the annual general meetings, between two annual general meetings, between one and the other. So next, see, I'm trying to, before I even go into section 96, especially for somebody who's new, this video is very useful. I'm trying to keep it very, very simple. So just imagine in your mind, there is a meeting room, and you know now why do we have a meeting and all of that. I've told you types of meeting and what is the flow. You have put the notice and everybody has come, they've given the attendance, and you have enough number of people and they're sitting inside the meeting. Just imagine they're sitting inside the meeting. Okay, so who is in the meeting room? Who all are there in the meeting room when we talk about AGM or EGM? When we talk about board meeting, board of directors will be there. That is obvious, sir, you'll tell. Good. But when we talk about shareholders in the meeting, for a general meeting, for annual general meeting, who will be there? Shareholders will come for the meeting. Suppose they can't come by themselves, they can send somebody who is a proxy. They can send somebody who is a proxy. On behalf of shareholder, they come and they vote in the meeting. They vote in the meeting when there is a poll. Okay. Who else is in the meeting room? So imagine an actual meeting room. If you just read this and by heart, it's of no use. Imagine there is a meeting room. Okay. In the meeting room, who is there? Shareholders. Then board and key executives. Correct. Why are they there? They are present for what? to present different developments in the company and to answer different questions. Correct? Board and key executives. You have auditors, chartered accountant, company secretary for reporting, for compliance. These are all the people who are there in the general meeting where shareholders are there. Is that clear? Again, just let me know, because this is not a Zoom session, it's YouTube, so I can't hear you. So you have to tell me in the comments. Are you able to understand? Is it clear? Yes? Yes or no? Do I see any comments? Yeah? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody has replied yes. Very good. Very good. So now you know who is in the meeting room. Next. What gets decided? It is a resolution, that's all. Keep it simple, don't complicate it. What gets decided in a meeting is a resolution, that's all. So ordinary decisions versus special decisions. So you call it as ordinary resolution or special resolution. It is nothing but a decision. Keep it very, very simple. Let's take an example. Approving the financial statements, correct? Appointing the auditors, changing the name of the company, altering the share capital of the company. These are all different decisions a company can take in a meeting, that is shareholders can take. So there is a company and the company wants to change its name. Shareholders can take a decision, yes or no. Company wants to alter the share capital. So shareholders can discuss, can deliberate, can agree, can disagree, then put to vote, then actually do the voting, count the votes, and then you have a decision. So what is the impact? Why the vote threshold matters? Why do we have a threshold? So in simple, ordinary decisions or special decisions, what we call, you need to understand, wherever, correct, you need more than 50%, more than 50% of the members or shareholders present and voting, we call it as an ordinary decision or an ordinary resolution. Wherever you need 75% or more shareholders to agree, we call it as a special decision or a special resolution. So how do you know? The Companies Act 2013 itself gives you a clarity. You don't have to worry. Companies Act says, for example, if you want to approve the financial statements in an annual general meeting, it is an ordinary resolution, correct? If you want to appoint auditors in the annual general meeting, ordinary resolution. So the Companies Act 2013 along with the rules itself tells you on what is ordinary resolution and what is a special resolution. Clear? So why is it important to have the threshold? Because some important decisions everybody has to take together. Let's just take it in your house, okay? In your house itself, suppose you have to buy something and it is worth about 50 rupees. Will you ask everybody in your house, family member, mother, father, brother, sister, if you're married, your spouse, children? No, it is 50 rupees, you just go buy it. But suppose you have to buy something which is 50 lakh or 5 lakh or anything which is big, it is a very big decision. So everyone comes together, you take everyone's opinion, then you plan it and then you take a decision. So for important things, we have special decisions or special resolutions where majority of the shareholders have to agree. 75% or more have to agree. It's a special resolution. More than 50% have to agree. We call it as an ordinary resolution. Clear? Yes. Hope that is pretty clear. So next, my question to you is, before the meeting, what do you do? So I'm just going by the flow. Before the meeting, notice an agenda. You should have a clear notice. That means who is being invited, when are they supposed to come, where are they supposed to come, So let's take an example. Suppose this is a wedding invitation. Okay, this is a wedding invitation. So in the wedding invitation, you will obviously say who is getting married to whom, correct? Then you say please come, correct? You say you are cordially invited to our wedding, correct? Then you are going to tell them what is the date of your wedding, time of your wedding, and obviously venue, where are you going to do, where should I come, correct? So you tell all this. You also go and tell if you want to come in a bus, this is the bus route, this is the map. You give all of that, right? Especially for housewarming ceremony, people do that. It will be somewhere outside, very far away and all. So you have to give a clear who, where, when, how. How are you supposed to attend? Because even you can attend online. If it is a video conferencing meeting, it's online, correct? So how can you attend? So all this should be given to the shareholder, saying that if you want to come, these are the things how you need to come. Agenda, then is what business will be discussed. Okay, you will come. So what is going to happen? Is it wedding? Is it a housewarming ceremony? Is it some other birthday party? What is it? You will tell no if you have an invitation for some function. Similarly, in a meeting, you will obviously tell what is the agenda, what business will be discussed, what are the attachments, what are the explanatory statement, what are the reports, etc. So I have a question for you to think. What is the risk if you have a vague agenda? Agenda is not clear. What is the risk? Please tell me. Think of your own, forget about annual general meeting, EGM, AGM. If you meet someone without agenda, what is the risk? What is the risk? Same risk applies over here. If you meet somebody without agenda, what is the risk? Let me know in the live chat. Yeah. What is the risk? See, the main risk is what? You may not discuss the most important thing. You may discuss things which are irrelevant, right? So this is the main risk which you are going to have. All right. So what is the starting line? The quorum. Minimum number of attendants required to start the meeting. If there is no quorum, the meeting gets adjourned because we need to follow the company law. So I'm not even come to section 96. I'm just trying to give you the simplest answer. So why quorum protects fairness? Why? Otherwise, what will happen? Only 1-2 people will come and they'll decide everything. Correct? Why not let 2 people decide for everyone? Why? It's not fair, no? If everybody is there, if only 2 people decide everything they want, no. So the company law says minimum number of people required to come and take a decision in the meeting. So what happens? So if we go back here, so we have broadly 2 types of meetings. We did that. What gets decided is the resolutions, then you have notice, you have agenda, then you have quorum, then you actually conduct the meeting. So chairman of the meeting runs the show. Then you have shareholders, they ask questions, there are clarifications. And how are decisions made? How are decisions made in a company? How are decisions actually made? It can be voting by show of hands, electronic voting, whatever. So what is show of hands? As simple as in the class, teacher asks something, raise your hand. So you raise your hand. So just like that, in a company also, show of hands is the default way of voting, Then you have electronic means, then you have proxies, then you have the record keeping. That is, who has voted, you keep a record, and that is very, very important for you. Okay. Now, after the meeting, what do you do? So you conduct the meeting and you are taking the decisions in the meeting. So what happens after the meeting? After the meeting, you are going to record the minutes. I told you that. And you are also going to tell the stakeholders on what happened in the meeting. especially if you're listed, you must immediately report to the SEBI, and after the meeting you need to file the necessary compliances. So you tell me, why do minutes matter many years later? So today you have done a meeting, you have recorded the minutes, which is a summary of the meeting. Just think for 1 second, how will this be useful after 5 years, after 10 years? What is the real use of these minutes? Think and actually let me know in the comments. Yes, Sarshita, confusion, wasting time, poor decision making, correct. If you don't have an agenda, same thing happens in a company. So now this one you tell me, why do minutes matter many years later? How will this really help? Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly. So that is the reason why we take it up. Good. So what are the common mistakes to avoid? You should ensure that notice is proper, and if quorum is not there, meeting is invalid, and don't mix the ordinary business and the special business. These are the basic things which you should know when it comes to meetings. Yes. So before we go ahead, I have a small announcement for you. If you want to know how many days you need to study, how much time you need to study for every chapter, we have made something extremely special, a personalized study planner. This personalized study planner will give you exactly total number of hours you require for every single chapter, every single subject which you want to take exam, whether it is December or June. This is a personalized study planner. And how do we do it? We have built a small software where we collect all your data. We give you a Google form. The Google form link is in the description. You can go to that Google form. This is a free service. There are no charges for this. At least as of now, we are not charging anybody. So you just go to the Google form and you can fill it. You can give all your details, and we will come back to you with a personalized study plan to tell you how many hours you need. So if somebody needs 200 hours to study, you may need only 150 hours. So that is what we have calculated, and this way you will know for every chapter how much you need to study. So the link is in the description. You can definitely go and fill that Google form, and we will get back to you as soon as possible with the final report of your personalized study planner. Now coming back over here, in this chapter all these concepts are there. I'm not going to do all of these now, but we are basically going to introduce section 96 for you right now. Yes. Now that you know that, in this meeting I've given you the overall background. So now we'll quickly go. So whatever we did so far, you'll understand very easily from now. See, what is a meeting? When two or more people transact any business, that is a meeting. So keep it simple. Even in the exam, please write such simple sentences. Don't write complicated words which are there in the textbook. One person alone cannot usually have a meeting, especially in a normal company scenario. In a very rare case, yes, even a one person can be allowed to have a meeting. I'll come to that later. Company is made of members, but it acts through the valid meetings. So what is a company? Company is a piece of paper. It is the people in the company which make up the company, right? So when they meet to decide is what it is. So members express their will to pass certain resolutions, and that is what we need to understand. So meetings are an opportunity for everyone to come and take a decision. Members, directors, everyone can pass resolutions, and meetings have to be with the proper timelines every year, and general meetings especially, it is valid and effective when you do it every single year. Yes, these are the simple things you need to understand. Now, secretarial standards on general meetings of companies. Correct. What is a secretarial standard? So Institute of Company Secretaries of India has a set of standards on how a company should be conducting itself when it comes to board meetings, general meetings, paying dividends, multiple things. But when we look at section 118 subsection 10, It clearly says that every company should follow secretarial standards relating to board meetings and general meetings. So let's take an example. Secretarial standard number 2, that is on general meetings. What does it say? It is issued by ICSI. All companies should follow this. It is very simple. Ensure the good corporate governance and make sure company is following Companies Act 2013 and the secretarial standards. All general meetings except one-person company. If you're a one-person company, you don't have to follow secretarial standards. Exempted companies don't have to follow. Then the new secretarial standards is effective from 1st April 2024. You should definitely write this in the exam. It's extremely important for you. Okay. So any other questions? Okay. Okay. Yeah, minutes will be useful for that. So corporate meetings and collective decision making. So what is this? So I've already told this to you. The board of directors have a meeting. The members have different meetings. So it could be class meetings, general meetings. Class meeting means meetings of only preference shareholders, meetings of only debenture holders, like that. Creditors meeting. So these are the different types of meetings which we have. This we already have seen briefly. Yeah. In a general meeting, some important things you should know, some more important concept. We have a concept of postal ballot. Of course, now there is hardly any post, it is through email, but basically notice is given to every of member where they don't physically come. Physically there is no meeting, but we are doing it through postal ballot. That is, email goes to everyone and they need to respond on their decision on a certain matter. Then you have a remote e-voting. So remote e-voting is not postal ballot. Remote e-voting is slightly different, where there is a website given. In that website we need to vote. In that website we need to vote on our decision on that matter. So this will ensure more and more people participate. See, traditionally what happens? If there is a meeting which is physical, you can't expect 5,000 people to come to one room. Not everybody will come. Less than 5% come. You believe it or not, I have seen companies with 5,000, 6,000 shareholders, not even 40 to 50 come for the annual general meeting, because everybody is busy, everybody is somebody else, somewhere else, they've just bought the share of the company. But when we give them a chance for remote e-voting, more and more people can participate. So what are the resolutions in the meetings? I told you ordinary and special resolution, which already gave you an idea. Voting in the meeting. So how do you vote in a meeting? The simplest is by show of hands, and other one is demand for poll, where there is actual ballot paper and you vote. So this is the introduction what I am giving you. So please bear with me and I will give you much more details. Yeah, so company is required to hold meetings. So this we know, correct? AGM, class meetings, we understood. Okay. Yeah. Now we come to annual general meeting, section number 96. So we'll go through the section 96 in a very easy manner. Okay. Yes. All right. So in annual general meeting, what is happening basically? Section 96 talks that every company should have a meeting. So I'll just put it to you in very simple. It is a yearly meeting of the company members. Every year we have to do this. That is the first important thing you should remember. Please note that down. Second, it is required under section 96, but in a one-person company, because there is only one person, whom will they meet? So there is no annual physical meeting is not there, because there is only one person. Okay. You review the activities and ensure accountability of the company every single year. Like, what are the activities? I'll tell you. Broadly speaking, there are two types of businesses in the meetings. So one is your ordinary business, second is your special business. So let me just tell you. so that you don't get confused. Lot of people get confused between business and resolution. There is no connection. So in business we have ordinary business, okay, then we have special business. Then in resolution what do we have? Same, ordinary resolution and special resolution. So people get confused all the time. They say ordinary business means we need only ordinary resolution. Special business means we need only special resolution. There is no connection. So what is a business is basically in which meeting. So usually you need to understand something. In a extraordinary general meeting, in a EGM, no matter what you discuss in a EGM, we call it as a special business. You can discuss whatever you want. Even if you discuss approval of financial statements, it is called as a special business. But in annual general meeting, there are 4 types of ordinary business. That is approval of financial statements, appointment of directors in the place or retiring, then you have appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration, correct? And most importantly, declaration of dividends. So these are the 4 ordinary business which you have, and you discuss that only in an annual general meeting. Even if you discuss, like for example, approval of dividends, declaration of dividend, in a EGM, it becomes a special business. It is the same thing, but because the meeting is a EGM, it becomes a special business. So this is the type of business you are transacting. But when we talk about resolution, it talks about how many number of shareholders, what is the percentage of shareholders who need to agree to take a decision. That I already told you, 50% and above, here 75% plus. So more than 50% is ordinary resolution, 75% is special resolution. Correct? Hope you are understanding. Yes. Okay. All right. So what is ordinary business? Approval of financial statements, declaration of dividend, appointment of directors in the place or retiring, and appointment and reappointment of auditors and fixing the remuneration. So usually this is called as, this is a very famous abbreviation, ADDA. ADDA they call it for the ordinary business. So there are only 4 types of ordinary business, and ordinary business is only in AGM. Please remember this. There are only 4 types of ordinary business, and that is only in AGM, nowhere else. That is the first thing you should understand. So if you ask me, sir, what happens if we appointment of directors in the place for retiring, if I do it in a EGM, what happens? It becomes a special business. What happens if I do appointment, reappointment of auditors in a EGM, not AGM, in a EGM? Then it becomes a special business, right? So only if these 4 items are discussed in a AGM, we call it as ordinary business. If these items are discussed in a EGM, we call it as a special business. Please remember that concept, right? So what is special business? In simple, any other business other than ordinary. So in an annual general meeting, should I discuss only these 4 things? In an annual general meeting, should I discuss only these 4 things? No, there will be many more things to discuss. So in annual general meeting, if I want to discuss anything apart from these 4, I will discuss it and I'm going to list it as a special business, not as an ordinary business. So in ordinary business, I may not have declaration of dividend. So I may not have the third point. I may just have approval of financial statements and other reports, and appointment and reappointment of auditor. I may just have 2 things. So I will list it under ordinary business in my notice to the meeting. And below that, if I have some other special business like altering the articles, issue of bonus shares, approval of merger or acquisition, or anything else, if I have and I want to discuss in AGM, of course I can. As a company, I just have to list it as special business and tell what am I going to do. For example, alteration of articles of association, I want to do in AGM. So I listed under special business and discuss it and pass the necessary resolution. For that it is a special resolution, right? It is like that. So ordinary business and special. So like I told again, in an extraordinary general meeting, no matter what you discuss, no matter what you list as a business, is always a special business. Okay. Yeah, Secretarial Standard 2 provides for the board should convene the annual general meeting every single year, and it should transact ordinary business and special business. Very, very important. If it is there, so you'll tell, sir, what if they don't have special business? They don't discuss, they don't even list it in the notice. That's it. So if the board fails, any member can approach the authority. The authority may then direct the calling of the AGM. So if the board does not have an annual general meeting, then the shareholder can go to the NCLT and file the case. So AGM must be held once every year. That is the first thing. Maximum gap 15 months between two AGMs. So what does that mean? So now let us say 15th June 2024 you have a AGM. Okay. So maximum 15 months. So for example, 14th June, July, August, September, 14th September 2025, you must have the AGM. Why? You should not have gap more than 15 months from the previous meeting. But there is another condition. Please remember, the first AGM within 9 months from first financial year. So you have the time of 9 months. Notice you should give 21 clear days, and quorum has to be present, you know very well, and ordinary special business can be done. So when we look at this, this is two conditions are there for AGM. One is 15 months gap between two AGMs, and second 6 months from close of financial year. So now for example, let me say that 30th September 2024 I had a AGM. So now in 2025, when should I hold the AGM? In 2025, when should I hold the AGM? You need to apply two conditions. First is within 15 months of the previous AGM. Next is within 6 months of close of financial year. Whichever is earlier, very important. So from here, 30th September, 15 months from previous AGM. So what it becomes? Let's say 31st December 2025, and this is 6 months from close of financial year. So financial year closes 31st March. So it becomes 6 months, 30th September 2025. So when should I hold the AGM for 2025? Is it 31st December 2025 or 30th September 2025? After you apply both these conditions, whichever is earlier. What is the answer? Please tell me. What is the answer? Which one? Yeah. Let me know. There are two options. Is it 31st December or 30th September 2025? When should I hold the AGM? Yes. Yes, there could be a lag between what I am saying and you people hearing. Yes, tell the answer. Okay. So the answer is 30th September 2025. Why? Whichever is earlier, both conditions should be satisfied. Is 30th September within 15 months from previous AGM? Yes, because 30th September 2024. So it is within 15 months. Satisfied. Second condition. Is it within 6 months from close of financial year? Yes. Financial year is closing 31st March 2025. Within 6 months is 30th September 2025. So both conditions are satisfied. But in 31st December 2025, Okay, only one condition is satisfied, that is it is within 15 months of previous financial year, correct, but it is not within 6 months of close of financial, 15 months of previous AGM, but it is not within 6 months of close of financial year. So only one condition is satisfied. This is the wrong answer and this is the correct answer. Did you get that? Yes, I hope somebody has told. Okay, yeah. So somebody is asking about the classes. So just in case you want to write December exam, so we have recorded class, live class, we have personal mentorship. You can get in touch with us on 973-973-3400. So going ahead, so hold the AGM. So every year, AGM must be held once every calendar year. Every calendar year. What is calendar year? From January to December. Within that you must hold. Plus, first AGM you have 9 months from first financial year, I told you. No AGM is needed in the year of incorporation if it is within that period. Subsequent AGM, I told you, within 6 months from financial year and not more than 15 months between two AGMs. So both these conditions have to be satisfied. Both these conditions have to be satisfied for holding the AGM on a year-to-year basis. On a year-to-year basis. Yeah, that is the same thing which is given over here. Subsequent AGM. Yeah, and if you are a listed company, very important, especially top 100 listed companies, they must ensure that their AGM is within 5 months from closing of financial year, not 6 months. If you are a top 100 listed company, okay, you will provide one-way live webcast also of all the things. So what is top 100 listed companies? You need to look at the market capitalization. You can go look at NSE website, BSE website. They have a list. Those companies have only 5 months and not 6 months from close of the financial year. Okay, so they've given some illustration. Yeah, next, for any reason, if you want to extend the AGM, you can apply for extension up to 3 months, but you need a valid reason. So you say that my last date for AGM was 30th September 2025, but I could not hold for various reasons, or I'm not able to hold before only you should tell. See, now we are in end of August. So 30th September is last date. Suppose there is a company and they know they can't hold the AGM before 30th September. So now only they have to apply to ROC saying that we will apply for this and say that not more than 3 months from the close of the final date. So from 30th September also we are going to ask for extra 3 months for the AGM. So you can apply for the extension, and that is what we are trying to learn over here. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay, that is done. Yeah, this is a question in the textbook. So date and time, this between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and not on a national holiday. So the AGM has to be between 9 to 6 and you cannot hold it on a national holiday. That is also fairly simple. National holiday, you know what is a national holiday, so I won't tell you. Yeah. So this is again a recap for you. And we look at AGM. Ordinary business and special business. So special business is what? Everything apart from these four. Okay. The declaration of dividend, appointment of directors, appointment of remuneration of the auditors, correct? Approval of financial statements. These are the only four things which is ordinary. This I already told you. So with that, for this live class on YouTube, we come to the end. The idea was to give you a good picture of what are meetings, how you need to study, and basic understanding of all the aspects and the flow of a general meeting. Hope you got that. Again, I tell you, in the description we have a personalized study planner option where you can fill a Google form and we'll come back to you with the personalized study planner. And secondly, if you're writing in December and you're looking for personal mentorship, we are there to help you. You can get in touch with 973-973-3400. It could be with classes, it could be with weekly test, it could be with WhatsApp group for clearing the doubts, and most importantly, to ensure that you study. Correct? We ensure that you study in the personal mentorship program. You can join us. We have a offer which is closing in 31st of August. For people who are writing in December, there's a special offer. You can join that. So with that, I'll be closing this class. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. If there are any questions, let me know. Okay, there's nothing else. Thank you, and we hope to see you soon in more such classes.